This stalking has never stopped.
I put a GPS tracking device in her car, and I would hide it, so if she was traveling with a friend, I would be able to listen to their conversations, and I would know the exact location of the car. I spoke to a magistrate, and legally there is no stalking law against a husband.
He's having teenage boys follow me to and from work with binoculars. He shuts off my alarm so I don't go to work.
I've broken into her MySpace page so that I could see what she's emailing to people.
He puts notes on people's cars that said, "Stay away from my wife."
I have pretended to be other friends of hers to set traps for her.
Shows up at people's houses. He gets aerial photos of people's houses.
I delivered flowers to Jennifer's work before she got there so that I could root through Jennifer's desk and try to find out more information. When I married her, I was expecting till death to us part.
Is there any boundary you won't cross? In your efforts to control her and reassure yourself, is there any boundary that you've gotten to and said, I won't go there?
Yes.
And?
I would never raise a hand to her or harm her in any way. And I know that she has told police that she's scared for her life, and I am sure that I would not do it. I want to be married forever. I would never do anything to harm that.
Okay, you see, that was a compound sentence.
I understand.
Okay?
I want to be married to her. And
What you said was, I would never raise a hand to her or harm her in any way.
Yes.
Okay, that's two separate thoughts.
Okay.
You maybe have not raised a hand to her, but do you honestly think you have not harmed her?
I would never harm her physically.
Do you think you have harmed her?
Yes, I have harmed her emotionally, mentally,
Because you know what she
everything.
said?
Yes.
You know what she said? She said, I almost wish he would just punch me out and be done with it because this just keeps on hurting, and at least that would be over quick.
Yes, she said that before.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Because
at least it would be done. I mean, I'm not saying that it would be right, you know. I'm not saying that, you know, to belittle any woman that has been beat, but at least they get punched and then it's done. This is 24/7. I walk on eggshells because I don't know what he's gonna do. And it just doesn't just affect me. It affects my kids. It affects my mother, my friends, my coworkers. It affects everyone in my life. And so every decision that I make affects numerous people around me.
And how old were you when you got married?
19.
And you were?
29, turning 30. My and Jennifer's oldest son is 10 years old. He has walked up behind me and saw I had a GPS tracking of the car.
Austin said, "Mom, I want to tell you something." And I said, "What?" And he said, "I just wanted to tell you that Dad goes to this website every time when you leave and he can listen into your car." I saw Daddy doing it and I could hear you, and I asked him what he was doing, and he told me that you were doing bad things and that he needed to figure out what they were so he could fix them. I fear all the time that Austin's going to pick this stuff up. I worry that he'll see that I'm being weak, and I don't want my girls to think that they have to put up with something like this.
With my kids, I always have tried to portray that Mommy and Daddy are happy. They know that Mommy and Daddy are having trouble and they want the troubles to be over. I want my family together. I don't want them to leave me.
But you understand that any human being with any spine, any self-respect, any self-esteem, self-worth, and value is not going to live as a prisoner in their own home, in their own marriage. Is there not a woman inside you that is screaming to say, what are you doing? Be your own best friend? Jennifer? You are so freakish about her being with some other man or getting involved. You know, you're just totally consumed with that threat, right?
I am 100% obsessed with the fact that
But have you not tried to get her to have sex with one of your friends?
We've discussed those things.
Did you wake up with this guy sitting next to you? With both of them sitting on either side of you?
Yeah.
And he was trying to get this friend to do what?
Stick his hand down my pants or something, trying to get me to get into it.
We were asleep. I was asleep on the bed next to her when a friend who was staying over was drunk, came up and said things.
And I woke up.
And
I woke up and all I saw was those two talking.
Are you honestly going to try and justify this?
I'm not justifying it at all. I woke up with this person in our room. And she woke up seconds after me, and I rolled over. I wasn't just talking to him, but I rolled over at the foot of the bed. She was there. Our daughter was still in the bed. So I wouldn't let anything happen with our child in the bed, me laying there, Jennifer laying there, and he walked in the room. And he was asking for the keys to her car so that he could go to a bar.
Doesn't this just seem a little out of kilter to you?
It seems very out of kilter on the logical side of me, yeah.
Well, let's just go over to the emotional side. How does it look from there? I mean, does that just seem incredibly inconsistent to you?
Everything that I do at the end of the day is very inconsistent all along the way.
They tell me you're having a hard time back here.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to hurt her anymore. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. There's so much more. I don't want to hurt her. I really want to be married. That's why I wrote. I want it all to be better. I want it to be fixed. I don't like fighting. I can't stand the arguments. I can't stand the hurt. I've tried so hard to give everything that I knew how to give, that just not being wanted and everything, it's I mean, I know that I've done, the most wrong things you could possibly freaking do, but I can't stand that I even do them. I want to trust her. I want to know where to find the trust. God, I wish any of the stupid tests that I tried to do would come back without any kind of confirmation. I wish I just didn't have to do it at all. I wish I would have never started doing it, because once I've started, literally, I don't know how to stop. I love my family. It's a great family. It's gorgeous. And there's so many of the fun things that we've done, even during this past 8 months, that's just been hell.
You're driving her crazy.
I know.
You're driving her crazy. Let me tell you something. That is a beautiful, intelligent, articulate woman. She doesn't have to put up with this. She doesn't have to put up with this. So what you need to understand here.
She even came here, so I know that there's at least I think there's a chance. But I just.
Well, but Jeff, look, here's the deal. Do you want to have a chance to save this?
Yeah, I
mean, do you really?
Yes, I want to be married, and I want to have a family more than anything in the world.
Because there are two questions here that you've got to differentiate between. Question number one is, do I want to get immediate gratification by getting immediate reassurance? Like, you'd like to rush out there and see her right now, wouldn't you? You get anxious when you don't see her. When you can't see her physically, when you can't contact her, you have anxiety attacks, right?
Yeah, huge, yeah.
Okay, and so
when I was kicked out of the house for the 3 days, I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, I understand. So you got to decide, do you want to cave to that need for an immediate fix, and you can go home and you can haunt her and stalk her and cling to her and grab onto her and then vacillate into your anger and call her bitch and whore and all of that kind of stuff? You can do that. And if you do, let me tell you, I've been doing this for 30 years. She's going to leave you. She's going to get a divorce, and she's going to marry somebody that recognizes her for the quality woman that she is. That you can take to the bank. If you don't change, that's going to happen. She is going to drop you like a bad habit and move on to somebody that appreciates her.
I know. And
do you get that's what you're choosing?
Yes. No, I get that she isn't, and this is honestly the first time that she's ever stood up for herself during this period and want to leave me, and it's scary. It's scary as all get out.
Okay. Now, the other choice is to say, you know what? As scary as it is, if I want a chance, I got to fix me for real.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, this isn't about her. You are fixated on her, you are obsessed with her, but it isn't about her. You have an anxiety neurosis, in my opinion. I haven't diagnosed you, I haven't given you the test, I haven't gone through all of those steps like the 4 counselors that you fired have, but I'm going to tell you that I'm betting they're going to concur with me that you have an anxiety problem here. You've also got some obsessive tendencies with it, and you're attempting to control her to alleviate your anxiety. And if you don't fix that, you're going to get divorced. Do you understand that you, mentally and emotionally, are not healthy with this obsession?
I know.
I want to offer you some help. I want you to do this for me. She is ready to go home and file for divorce. You knew that when she came out here. She's talked to lawyers. She's ready to go home and file for divorce. I'm going to ask her not to do that. If you do something for me. There is a program out here in California called Creative Care that deals with anxiety and obsessive behavior. It is specifically tailored to who you are. And I have called Dr. Kaligi, who is the director of Creative Care, and I said to him, this is a good man that has lost his way, and I want you to let me put him in this program, give him some other ways to alleviate this anxiety so he can go to his wife as a partner instead of an abuser. I don't know how long you would need to be there. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. But it is an intense program to help you get control of your anxiety and obsessive behavior. Will you go?
Yes. Yes.
I will put you in the program and you will go there.
Yes, sir.
You don't go home, you don't pass go, you can do it while you're here.
That's fine.
And I will ask her, it's her decision. I don't tell women what to do.
Yeah.
But I will ask her not to make a decision about this until you submit to some professional help. And I'm going to tell you something. You go out there and jerk those people around and try to fire them, they're in partners with me. They don't get fired easy. You can't quit. You quit, I will personally get her a lawyer. But I'm asking you, will you just take a step back? Don't file for divorce right now. Don't do any of those things. And let me put him in this program out here. If he quits, if he doesn't play ball, if he doesn't do the things he needs to do, a whole different ball game. He knows if you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences, Jeff, right?
Correct.
You choose to blow that off, then I got a sneaking suspicion you're blowing your marriage off with it. Would that be a fair statement?
Absolutely.
And I have said to her in your absence that I will help her to do what she needs to do to be healthy and happy for herself and those children. What did you want to say to your wife?
I'm sorry, truly, about everything, but the only thing I'm not sorry about right now is the decision to call the show and to come. I don't want to live without you at all. I want to be married. And I know that you can be the absolute best person in the world, and I don't want to lose you. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But that means that I'm staying here in California for I don't know how long.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.